Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Omara coming to you with miracle number 19 in our 100 Miracles in 100 Days project, combined with the Effortless Manifesting and Awareness Activation Quickie. So let's just take a big breath in. Big belly breath in through the nose, filling your belly up with air, and then slowly breathing out through the mouth. With a bit of a sigh. When you can feel that your awareness has returned to being within your being, begin breathing in through the nose, holding it for as long as it's comfortable, and then breathing out through your nose. Unless you are releasing. So we're going to do the Quickie awareness activation first. So just bring your awareness into your body. All the stories about your body and all your aches and pains, and I want you just to toss them out the window or put them in another room. And if you don't know what that means, go back to the very first activation where we do a full activation of that, and this is just a quickie to get you into that place of being able to manifest. Breathe. See if you can't sense or notice being a little bit lighter without those stories about your body, about how tall, how short, how bald, how fat, how skinny, colour of your hair, eyes, skin, all that stuff. Throw it all out the window and breathe. And now I want you to bring your awareness into your identity. So your name, address, phone number, date of birth, what sort of house you live in, what sort of car you drive, all your qualifications, kids, cats, dogs, pets, family, all of that stuff that says this is you, how we identify you here on earth as a human being, and throw that out the window too. Because we're looking to just find your being, your huge, unlimited, infinite, eternal, gorgeous, sexy, radiant, powerful, beyond measure being of light that you already are underneath all of these stories. Breathe. Now if you could please bring your awareness into all of your feelings, good and bad, love, joy, peace. And all of your emotions, good and bad. And then all of your opinions on world events, on war, on racism, homosexuality, wealth, health. Throw all those opinions out the window too and breathe for me, please. And then bring your awareness into your thoughts. Thoughts, conscious mind, your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, and toss them out the window or in another room as well, please. Just breathe. See See if you can notice yourself getting lighter and lighter. And even if you can't notice something, that does not mean that something truly powerful isn't happening for you. It just means that you've got a fair bit of density there, and it might take you a few goes at this to get there. If you can't feel anything, there goes the kookaburras again. Goodness gracious, it's just one instead of a whole flock of them. If you can't notice that after a couple of goes, it's probably recommended that you go back to the very first activation, the big one, and do that several times, because that will help you. It's a full clearing, and it will help you connect in easier. Alrighty. Now bring your awareness into your heart, your beautiful, beautiful heart. And I want you to become aware of all of the heartache that you're carrying around in your heart. And all the times your heart's been broken. And I want you to toss them out the window along with the wall that you put around your heart so that you don't get hurt again. Toss all of that out the window. And breathe. You'll find as you lighten this up, you will begin having tingling in your brain, maybe in your third eye, maybe at the base of your spine like I am at the moment. These are all just good signs that energy is moving. You may even see visions, like I just did of a teepee. And a bigger, old, beautiful American Indian chief with his full regala on and headdress, etc. And you may feel stuff tingling in your body, bits of your body that are out of alignment, or where there's pain, they may be tingling as you come more into the divine essence of who you are. Breathe. Just breathe. And I want you to see if you can sense now all of that awareness that is you underneath the 1%. We focus 100% of our energy on the 1% physical matter, and yet we are this 99% untapped, pure potential, pure God source that exists in every one of your 100 trillion cells and 100 trillion telomeres, and it is connected to all time and space, all dimensions of light, all universes, galaxies, star systems. That's you. That's what you're made up of. You're so absolutely magnificent, but of course, nobody wants you to know that. That's why they'd send you to school and teach you rote learning. A child, when they're born, has, 1,000% creativity. By the time they're going to school, they've lost half of it. By the time they finish high school, they've lost like 2/3 of it. And by the time they finish university, they're lucky if about 2% of their creativity still exists, unless they had wonderful parents that encouraged that creativity. Breathe. Because once most knowledge that's around is just regurgitated stuff. I want you to use your own wisdom within to change the world. They like having control of you. So just let it go. Just breathe into this light. And it's here that your effortless manifesting happens. It's here that you could go. How can I have a fit and healthy, strong and powerful, lean and flexible body, if that's important to you? How can I find my soulmate? How can I make $100,000 next year? How can I make $1 million next year? How can I live a richer, more peaceful and blessed life? Anything at all, just ask it here. While you've got your other 99% of you, the most powerful part of you, present. And I want you just to continue to breathe now while I tell you about today's miracle, which is a continuation on the Tilba Tilba miracle that I spoke about yesterday, and the one before that when I was being guided to go to Tilba Tilba in the miracle called Remember He Was Screwing You Nicely. So while I'm on holiday, and if it might be, if you don't understand this, then just go back and listen to those two. Go back and listen to the whole series. It'll do you marvelous things for your being. But while I was on holiday in Tilba Tilba, I think I mentioned yesterday that I ended up staying for 2 weeks and asking if I could move into their 1-bedroom miners cottage that they were in the process of doing up, painting, and that was lovely. I love it when I move into a freshly painted and new place because it cleans up all the old energy that's in there. And so it was agreed that I would go back to Melbourne and move up there. I just needed to wait for them to finish painting it, etc. But while I was there, this is what today's miracle is about, I asked about getting some stuff to move there. And they recommended Mystery Bay Removals, Mick from Mystery Bay Removals, because the owners of the farm had just bought that in the previous year and had moved from Canberra to Tilba Tilba, which had a population of 200 people, and that included all the people in the community. There was about 10 houses in this town. I absolutely loved it. I lived as a hermit almost. And there was another little town called Central Tilba that was more of a tourist town. So you could go up there and there was a couple of cafes and great homemade food and then lots of other good stuff there you could buy. And most importantly, there was the Tilba Tilba dairy, which made the most amazing cheeses and ice creams, etc., etc. So great little place to visit if you're ever in Australia. Or if you live in Australia, get to the south coast of New South Wales. Spectacular beauty as well. There's lots of videos that I took on the south coast of New South Wales on this YouTube channel if you want to go back and find them. Pristine waters and all sorts. Breathe. So today's miracle is about Mick and Mystery Bay Removals, which I was to find out later is actually called Narooma Removals. But so Andrew gives me Mick's phone number. I ring him and say, I'm going to move from Melbourne to here. I don't have a lot of stuff. Do you do any backloads? And he's going, oh, God, no. I never go to bloody freezing cold Melbourne. So I ring around a few other places and it seems that nobody on the south coast is interested in going to bloody cold Melbourne. So I ring Mick back and say to him, well, I think you were the person that I was referred to, and I think you're going to get a load to Melbourne, and if you do, can you please bring me back? He goes, yeah, fine. He's a good old countryman. I loved Mick, and I just so loved him and his wife and his 5 kids. He was just an amazing human being. But anyway, he goes, yeah, sure, but I never go to bloody freezing cold Melbourne. And I go, okay, Mick, no worries. You might just find you get a load now. So I head back to Melbourne. Takes them about another 4 weeks for them to finish doing up the 1-bedroom cottage for me. And I ring Mick. I was ringing him every couple of weeks. I was like, no, we don't have a load to Melbourne. No, we don't have a load to Melbourne. And then I ring one day and his wife says, oh, yeah, look, he's got a load to Barnsdale, which was that halfway point I stayed at that I spoke about. And I was like, oh, excellent. So I ring and speak to Mick, or actually he rings back and leaves a message going, Elle, I'm not bloody driving an extra 4 hours just to come down and pick up, half a dozen boxes of yours. I went, okay, not a worry. So I then decide, I had this, if you know me, you're going to laugh because this is so me. I had this hot pink leather couch and I'm short. I'm 5 foot and half an inch high. And most couches are really uncomfortable for me because where the headrest is, it just pokes my head out. But this one was really comfortable. It didn't have any of that going on. And I so wanted to take my hot pink leather couch with me, along with a beautiful kitchen buffet that I had. It was all engraved, etc., etc. Anyway, so Mick says, I'm not bloody coming all the way to get sugar. Okay, fine. So I put those two things that I dearly wanted to bring with me on Gumtree, but I put the price basically that I'd pay for it because I didn't really want to get rid of them. But I just thought if it sells, then I have to accept that that's the way it was meant to be. Well, they don't sell. But on Tuesday morning, I get this really weird phone call from Mick. You can tell in his energy, he's like, Elle, I've got a load to bloody freezing cold Melbourne. And I roared laughing. So I told you would. Where is it? He goes, oh, it's in Sawtell. And I went, oh, Mick, darling, that's still 3 hours from Melbourne. So to tell you what, if I get you a second load to Melbourne, will you then come and pick me up, please? He goes, yeah, but you won't get a second load. I never go to freezing cold bloody Melbourne. And bugger me dead, he rings me back up and goes, Elle, I've got a load to Ballarat. And I went, oh, well, that's an hour out of Melbourne. You're definitely coming to get me. And I roar laughing. And you can hear all the like, who the hell are you, you know? Because I had said to him, listen, I have thousands of angels that work for me. I'm telling you, you're getting a load to Melbourne, you know. So on the day he arrives to pick me up and take my stuff back to Tilba Tilba, he went a day or so before me. He pulls up in his beautiful big truck with Naruma Removals written on the side of it. And I had just decided that I'd take some pot plants. When he was coming, I decided to take some more stuff with me because I could. And because I knew the truck was empty because he dropped off these 2 loads on the way. But I was packing up and I was filthy dirty and I had an old white skirt on that was brown and I had an old brown jumper that had holes all in it and I hadn't done my hair or anything. And I'll never ever forget the look on Mick's face when he came in to meet me and he shakes my hand and the look on his face was, you did all this? Oh my God, it still makes me laugh to think about it. So yeah, even if you're a little old lady with white hair and you're a scruff like I can be, you can do anything if you know who you are on the inside, and it has nothing to do with what you look like on the outside. And what a fantastic way to distract you from your greatness and from all the magnificent things that you can do in this world by focusing on your weight, your hair colour, your skin colour, your eye colour, and all that, your education and all that bullshit. You are exactly as you are right now, an infinite, eternal, rich, abundant, gorgeous, sexy, radiant, powerful beyond measure being of light. You always have been, you always will be. Unfortunately, most people, well, they don't know that when they're born, but we can all see that. That's why we all want to hold babies. And most people don't remember that about themselves until just before they're ready to cross over. Don't be one of those people. Light up your light, light up your soul, and let everybody see you beautifully. And if you really want to do that, you really want to know how to do that, and you want to help other people do that, remember I'm running become a certified, powerful fifth dimension and beyond activator and healer in 2023. And we would love to work with you. There's more information about that in the very first recording that we did. So breathe for me. I have so many more stories to tell you about Tilba Tilba, about tomorrow's. I'll leave them till tomorrow. There was things that just happened because we're at the base of Gulliga Mother, and she is the Aboriginal women's most sacred site. I don't know if that was in New South Wales or Australia, but people who couldn't get pregnant could go and stay for a week at the base of Mother Gulliga and get pregnant even if they couldn't find anything the matter with them. It was just an extraordinary time that I lived there Jack and I used to sit on the veranda and talk to the stars and had all these amazing interactions with stars and star planets. And so I'm just going to pick a couple of the miracles that happened in the 2.5 years I was there and share them tomorrow. And then we'll move on to another topic. But it was a huge turning point in my life because I went deeply within at that point. All of my work was done by phone or via the internet, and I worked all over the world and helped people wake up the magnificence of who they are through my 10-week spiritual intensive. And you will find heaps of testimonials about those on my website, www.elmaraseraphim.com. And so just breathe for me. And just, if you move out of that alignment with all that you are, with the 99% untapped pure potential, just remember, it's as simple as going body out the window or in another room if it's snowing like it is in Canada and USA. Identity out the window. Feelings, emotions, and opinions out the window. Thoughts, conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, out the window. And then the most fantastic one that's been given to me recently. All your heartbreak, all of your heartache, and all of your heart wounds, toss them out the window. And feel the love that exists within you, that you don't even need another human being. But if you find another human being, they will reflect that, that love back to you. Breathe. Breathe. Gosh, so wanted this one to be a quickie. Sometimes they just flow out of me and there's not much I can do about it. So just send you 20 seconds of gorgeousness. I wish you all the most truly blessed day and blessed life. Okay, love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. Have a truly blessed day and bye for now.